the Lord is the one who's given me these abilities. I didn't wake up one day and give myself these abilities. They're all from the Lord. I really don't think I even had a choice going into baseball. The best decisions that my family's made for me, 100%.
We knew who you were at age 13, 14, and
I don't know. I just really forgot to tell you. Anyways,
having the ability to fail, but knowing somebody's still got your back, because you might blow one on Friday night and you got to get back in there on Saturday.
yeah, I really learned to love the closing role.
Thriving off that adrenaline is awesome, isn't it? We're here live at the show. My name is Jake Robbins, and we're excited about today's guest, Jordan Little. Jordan Little grew up here in Charlotte, North Carolina, played here at Showcase Baseball Academy, has furthered his career all the way to the Cincinnati Reds. We'll talk about that, all the in-between from A to Z, but I'm excited to have you, Jordan.
All right, thanks for having me. Appreciate
Absolutely, absolutely. So growing up in Charlotte, you have an older brother,
Yep.
and you're really close with him. Your mom's great. Give me a little backstory on how you started baseball.
it. Yeah. I really don't think I even had a choice going into baseball.
Right.
I just remember playing, pretty much everything at a young age: baseball, basketball, football, you name it. But baseball was the sport that kind of stuck out to me most of my life. But yeah, I started, I don't know, as early as I can remember, playing, wiffle ball in the backyard with my brother, kind of like, how a lot of other, kids start. But yeah, pretty much as early as I can remember.
Right. You have family ties and some well-known family friends.
Yes.
And Grady Little,
Yep.
Tommy Little.
Yep.
You want to talk about
Love
them for a
Grady.
minute?
Yeah, Grady. Grady's he's a special character. He kind of came into my life and when I was probably like 10 years old, 11 years old. Of course, he's had a great history of major league managing and everything, and his he's not very well liked around the Boston area anymore. But yeah, he had a very successful career, and having a guy like him in my corner, for this amount of years of my baseball career has been awesome.
Right.
Just gaining advice, and then Tommy Little, his brother, is my agent. So we're not blood related.
Right.
We've never really done an ancestry.com thing about that, but yeah, we couldn't be any closer.
Right. Going back to Grady not being liked in Boston, whether you're on which side of the coin, obviously Boston ended up losing the World Series. He takes Pedro out. Or he leaves him in. Which one? What do you remember?
I'm pretty sure he leaves him
in. He leaves him in.
Yeah, he leaves him in.
And Pedro wasn't giving the ball up anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So they should be hating Pedro, not Grady.
Yeah. It was kind of a lose-lose situation for them.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Now Grady's a great baseball guy, well known in our community. So it's really close. You're really cool that you're close with him. All right. So you play Little League baseball where?
I grew up in Stanley County, North
Right.
Carolina, so I grew up playing with, the Stanley County Sliders, and, places around Locust, North Carolina, and Oakboro, North Carolina. So that was probably till about age 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you go from there?
From there, we moved to Mint Hill,
Okay.
North Carolina,
Yep.
and then started going to Hickory Grove Christian.
Okay.
One of the best decisions that my family's made for me, 100%. Started going to Hickory Grove around 4th grade, ended there my senior year, and then of course, played SBA throughout high school. Before that was the Charlotte Megastars, but SBA was very special to me, throughout high school, and I know you're going to ask that.
Yeah,
ask some questions about that.
for sure. We knew who you were at age 13, 14, and we came into contact, and I think you played with us 15, 16, 17
Yes.
through. And
Yep.
one of the most memorable memories that I have of you is pitching at the Marucci World Series down in Louisiana. It was very hot.
Yeah.
But what would be your most memorable memory playing at Showcase?
I knew you were going to mention that. Yeah, that was the funnest. That was the most fun tournament I've ever been a part of. Just because at that age, like if you're traveling, from North Carolina to Louisiana, if you're making a road trip, out of a tournament, everything, it's so much more exciting. And yeah, that was my first time in Louisiana. It was super hot. but that was such a fun tournament. We got to play in Alex Box Stadium, and at LSU Stadium. Had a couple walk-offs there. Not me, but a couple of guys hitting on that team. Yeah, I'm not sure if my pitching performance was all too
good.
great,
It was all
but
right.
yeah, it was hot and it was hard to grip the ball. So it was that was such a fun tournament.
So you go through the high school recruiting process. It's
Yeah.
changed even since you've come through.
A lot.
You go to East Carolina, play for Coach Godwin, and then after a redshirt year? No,
Technically not.
technically not. Okay, so 2 years there,
Yep.
and you have the opportunity to hit the portal.
Yes.
How was that? How was going through the portal? Was it nerve-wracking?
Yeah.
You knew you were making the right decision?
Uh-huh.
I know one thing I do want to just go back to eventually is your faith, your walk with God, how important Jesus is to you. And I'm sure he played a big factor in this, kind of settling you at peace in that decision.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, out of high school, I was very fortunate and very excited to go to East Carolina. But it wasn't, in the Lord's plans for me to, it just didn't pan out there and everything. And my high school coach, Heath Blackman, who I credit a lot of my pitching success to, he pretty much, he came over there with me my freshman year. And so, yeah, that was a little bit of a, tougher, he made it a lot, I guess, tougher to leave ECU just because of me and his relationship. But hitting the portal was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Didn't work out at ECU. It was, a little nerve-wracking. I knew, that there were a few colleges that would be interested in me, maybe a little bit, prior to entering the portal and everything. So that gave me a little comfort. But kind of a funny story. So my roommate, it was in summer ball. His name was Zach Root. He pitched at Arkansas, first-round draft pick this past year. I entered the portal, and I was in my host family's hot tub downstairs when I entered the portal, and I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him anything.
Right.
And then he heard from a couple of the guys on the ECU team that I entered the portal. He was like, "What in the world's going on? Like, why didn't you tell me?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just completely forgot to tell you." Anyways, but went to Virginia Tech. That was one of the best decisions of my life. The pitching coach Ryan Fecto there, the head coach John Sheff, all the coaches there, they helped me play free, helped me love the game again.
Right.
And obviously had a good year, had some downs throughout the spring, but had a lot of ups. It's kind of tough being a closer, but also really fun at sometimes. It's very hit or miss.
Right.
But yeah, I had an amazing experience at Virginia Tech, and I'm a Hokie for life.
Right.
And yeah, I wouldn't change anything about
They
the
do have
transfer portal process.
Yeah, they do have a good coaching staff and some good dudes. So you mentioned the ups and downs and the having the ability to fail, but knowing somebody still got your back. And also in conjunction with that, having a short-term memory as a closer. Because you might blow one on Friday night and you got to get back in there on Saturday.
Yep.
And you got to trust your stuff. And so those guys, they helped you in that process.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Fecto, he is one of the most supportive coaches that I've ever had. If I had a poor outing, he would somehow kind of flip it on him and say, "Man, I probably shouldn't have, thrown that pitch there or called that pitch there." But he would also let you know, like what you did wrong. So that there was a lot of support. He definitely had my back. I knew he was having my back, after a poor outing. But also I knew he was going to be there to help me, to make adjustments and everything. And all my life I've been a starting pitcher.
Right.
Like all throughout high school, I think everyone is going into college and everything. And so you don't necessarily want to be a reliever / closer coming into college. That's just me. But I really learned to love the closing role and the relieving role at Virginia Tech. And you learn pretty quickly as a closer to have a short mindset.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's a couple outings where throughout the year I pitched on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday. There's one time at Boston College where I closed back-to-back games in the same day. So, yeah, having a short mindset in your successes and your failures. Yeah, I learned that pretty quickly.
Yeah, they are.
Virginia Tech.
I was the same as you. Starting pitcher up through high school. In pro ball, started for 7 years, and then relief for 7 years.
Yep.
During those relief years, I had the opportunity to make 4 or 5 starts, and I saw how, as a starting pitcher, you're built up. Your endurance allows you to get through 3 outs easily or 6 outs easily.
Yep.
And then I also saw how having the reliever mindset helps you go 1 out at a time, going back to being a starter. So the benefits of doing both and learning that at such a young age is really good for you.
Right, 100%, 100%. I think at the reliever and closer role, compared to getting through an inning as a starter, I really learned how to, it's just one pitch at a time. Make this pitch the best pitch, and you don't need to worry about how the rest of the inning's going and everything, or really conserving as a closer. You can kind of
air it out.
Air it out. And just focus on one pitch at a time.
Yeah. Thriving off that adrenaline is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of learned. I mean, I've been a little bit of a adrenaline junkie my whole life, but I learned a lot about myself, in that role at Virginia Tech.
Right.
I remember coming in, closing my first game against Notre Dame. I was, was pretty nervous. Like, I knew it was going to be a safe situation. The bases were loaded, and everything, but I don't know. When warming up in the pen, I was obviously pretty nervous, and then going out there, you have nerves. But as soon as you throw that first warm up pitch, it's like, all right, like we're good, we're okay. Yeah,
that's cool. So you have a good year at Virginia Tech. You're closing ball games. The draft is a month away.
Yeah.
Kind of take me up to what your thought process was leading up to the draft. You knew you were probably going to get drafted. What round you're slotted to go in, and all that stuff. How was Tommy Little helping you through it? I'm sure Grady was there for you. We talked a couple times. Like, what was your thought process going up to the draft?
Yeah, that's kind of going back to the importance of having someone like Grady in my corner, and Tommy. They're both great baseball minds. I remember this was towards the beginning of the season. Grady, obviously there was, I knew that I could get drafted.
Right.
And he was pretty much telling me, he's like, hey, those are results. Like, you don't need to worry about the results. Just pretty much take it one pitch at a time for the whole season.
Right.
Don't worry about the draft. Don't worry about performance. Don't worry about anything, because if you focus on one pitch at a time throughout the whole season, everything's going to take care of itself. And the month before the draft, obviously, your head starts going, and I think it was in the ACC tournament. That was my last outing. Had a great outing there. But there were some thoughts, like, man, I have a pretty good chance getting drafted. I have to show out, all that stuff. But I think it's important to just, to know that just to take it one pitch at a time. Don't stress it out.
Right.
If the Lord wills it to happen, it's going to happen. And that was a very, very exciting. I guess after the ACC tournament, that was a very exciting time, and kind of nerve-wracking time, because I think me and Tommy had we were talking about the draft and everything, and where I was projected to go. We didn't really know where I was projected to go and everything. I was just kind of trusting the Lord, like, Lord, if I get drafted, it's your will, and if I don't, it's not. Kind of simple as that. But leading into the draft, there were, a lot of emotions and everything, but I don't know why, but me and Tommy, the number 15 kept on popping up, and just shoot for 15, shoot for round 15, and that eventually happened. I got the call from the Reds, and my mom and brother were there, and one of my best friends, Luke Little, Grady Little's grandson, who's my neighbor. It's just one big family over there, but yeah, he was over there, and I got the call, and yeah, it was
exciting.
My mom was over there, of course, and my brother. It was very, very surreal.
Right. We
Surreal
talked
moment.
a lot about Grady and Tommy and how they've supported you. You have a strong mom. She's a good mom. She's been there for you and Christian.
Yep.
Talk about your mom and your relationship with your mom and your brother.
Yeah, my mom, she's one of the most, not one of the most, she's the most joyful person, or one of the most joyful people you'll ever come across with. And I think that's a testament to her faith in the Lord. Just because, at a pretty early age, we lost our father. I was 11, Christian was, I'm pretty sure, 13, 14 that time. And, that it's just a testament of her faith in the Lord. She was a rock, absolute rock for us during that time. And she's the best mother that any guy can ask for, any boy can ask for. And Christian was the older brother, so he stepped in as, the man of the family, and, set a great example for me, during those times. And my mom, she's
great.
she's great.
She is.
I can't say enough about her.
Yeah, there's there's some, the 10 kind of commandments that Christians kind of look at and follow. There's only one that comes with a promise, and that's if you honor your father and your mother and you have long life satisfied. And so you and Christian have definitely done that. It's a special thing to watch, the relationship y'all have. So,
Thank you.
so going back to SBA, your high school years, pitching in some competitive games, how did that impact you going into college and now into pro ball, pitching in those competitive games at a young age?
Yeah, I think SBA, just the exposure and the type of tournaments that we were put in, or that you put us in at SBA, really helped me for my collegiate career. I know we talked about, playing at Alex Box Stadium, playing in Baton Rouge, playing in all the PBR, perfect game tournaments. And it's just, the more you're in the spotlight, the better you are going to, to be in the spotlight. The more exposure you have in something, or in a certain type of environment, the better, you'll be in that environment, because you're going to be acclimated to it.
Right.
And I think the SBA really helped with that. Playing against all the top teams in the nation. I remember facing, it was, I think, Nick Bitsko.
Yeah.
He was a very big high school.
I was at Lake Point. I was there with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I pitched that game. I don't know if I had the greatest game, but that, at that point in my life, that was the biggest game that, I'd ever thrown in. There's a ton of college coaches, ton of pro scouts. And I think games like those really, helped me to be successful, I guess right now and for my college career.
Right.
And, it pretty much told me that if I can pitch in these moments, then I can pitch in any moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick Bitsko, I think he actually reclassed up.
He did.
There's a big epidemic, pandemic, or whatever, reclassing back these days, but he reclassed up. I think he was 95, 96 that night,
Yeah,
maybe
there was
97.
a whole clip whenever he got drafted of SBA.
Was
that
there
game.
really?
Yes,
Oh,
we were
okay.
watching, and it was hilarious.
I think it was a
Sent a couple
1-0,
videos to the group
2-0
chat, SBA group chat.
game. You threw really well that day, and I think that was almost like your coming out party. Like, okay, everybody knows who Jordan Little is.
Yeah.
And so we talked about earlier. You go to ECU, you go to Virginia Tech, you get drafted by the Reds, and then you have a little bit of a setback. Your first year with the Reds,
Yep.
right? Have Tommy John surgery.
Yep.
Never doubt in my mind that you were going to come back. Work ethic's always been there, but kind of talk about that process over, the the surgery,
Yeah.
the 8, 9, 10 months of rehab. I think you're in month 12 right
Yeah.
now. Month 12. So let's talk about that.
Well, yeah, close to it. Month,
Okay.
month 8 through 9 right now.
Okay.
8 or 9. Yeah. Obviously had high hopes for, going into this year and everything. But it was my first, I guess, ever professional live, I guess just live outing
Right.
during spring training. A little 21 pitch live outing, and on the, I guess, 19th pitch, threw a little changeup, felt a little, I felt something, and then threw a slider on the 20th pitch. I felt it even more. There wasn't really necessarily a lot of pain with it, and then on the 21st pitch was like, I got one more pitch. I'm just gonna air it out, and then I want to say I knew, but I took a while to tell the trainers and everything because
You're hoping that
I
wasn't it.
don't. Yeah, you never want to be hurt. Like
Right.
nobody wants to be hurt, especially going into your first year of pro ball and everything. But I remember asking a few guys that I knew who had Tommy John, like, "Hey, like, what'd you feel like when you tore it?" And they're like, "Are you serious? Like, dude, what happened?" But yeah, I eventually told one of the PTs, and it was a very quick process. Got the MRI results and everything, and all the scans, and it actually came up as half torn. But the doctor was, Dr. Krimchek over in Cincinnati. He's great. He's awesome. He told me it was half torn, but there was a lot of inflammation in the area, so it was hard to read, apparently. But when Cincinnati got the surgery, and after the surgery, he was like, "Yeah, that thing was fully torn." So I remember he was very supportive, very encouraging. During my time in Cincinnati, he was like, "This is the very best time. Nobody wants to tear the UCL, but this is the very best time to tear it and everything. First year, and everything. So this could be your 5th year. You're trying to fight for a spot and everything.
Right.
But this year has been honestly amazing, just because of the people that I've met, and I've built some very good relationships with a lot of the rehab guys. I was rehabbing out in Arizona all year, and it's a grind. It's more of a mental thing with Tommy John, because you'll have you just kind of have to, I guess, maybe not stay in your lane, but you can't let the negative thinkers, I guess, get in your way. There's gonna be some people who complain.
Right.
Why me?
Right.
It's easy to think of yourself like that. While I guess having Tommy John, nobody wants to have it, or being injured, period. But I think it's just showing up with the same intent every day. Like, hey, like I'm gonna go all out today. I'm gonna focus on what I can focus on, and control the controllables, and just try to have fun with it, because even in rehab, like you can still have fun with it. And I think the rehab group that I was a part of, we had a lot of fun. We got to I played a bunch of we played a ton of board games. We found a bunch of new hobbies and everything just to pass the time in Arizona. But it's I'm not gonna say it's been a great, like it's been a joy to have Tommy John and to be recovering from it. But I think you can definitely find the little joys in just showing up every day, and just thinking the Lord has you here for a reason, and so just showing up every day, with that same joy. Like, thank you, Lord. I get to throw a baseball again.
Right.
I have a brand new UCL now.
Right.
Thank you, Lord. Just finding those little thank yous throughout the day, and the little positives throughout the Tommy John process is huge.
It's interesting you said that the guys that are around you, you want to stay away from the guys who pull you down. You want to be around guys who are going to encourage you. The Bible talks about bad company corrupts good character. So the people that surround us and that we are around every day, they affect you. And so it's important to find those good people that are going to support you
Iron
through your walk.
sharpens iron.
No doubt. So this offseason, I've watched you throw here the last 3 or 4 weeks, and what's your focus on Obviously, strengthening the arm. You know, getting ready to get back on the mound, pitch development, strength and conditioning. You're in the gym every day. You look stronger and bigger than ever. Look great. What's kind of been your goal going into spring training? When's your first live? All those good things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I start throwing bullpens in January. So it's coming up. I feel great right now. Talking to my PT yesterday, actually, about everything. And kind of a side note, I can't say enough about the PTs for the Reds. They have been amazing.
Good.
Throughout this whole process. But, yeah, I feel great right now, feel strong. Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing coming in every day is just been my mentality. You know, just coming in, I guess, seeing it before or believing it before seeing it. Or maybe vice versa. maybe flipped around. But you have to believe in yourself, you know, believe that you are a major leaguer, that you are major league ready right now, and kind of, you know, believing that you're in a position before you actually are in that position.
Yeah, it's walking by faith.
Yeah, and I think that's been huge for me. You know, just walking in, it's not, you know, puffing your chest out or anything, but just believing in yourself. Like,
Right.
yeah, like I'm in the minors right now, but I'm a major leaguer and showing up every day with that intent.
Good.
So it's definitely more of a mental thing for sure. And yeah, I talked to the Red sports psychologist earlier this year, and again, I guess going back to just one pitch at a time kind of deal. I'm taking that same thing in my Tommy John rehab throwing process, and also the weight room. I think there's a fine line between focusing maybe a little too much or maybe going too all out on the mental game. You know, I guess focusing on it too much where you're overthinking.
Yeah, paralysis by analysis.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, just finding that, you know, that happy medium.
Right.
You know, with mentality and everything is I've you know learned a lot about myself.
Right.
This year, and I think it's gonna, you know, help me, you know, just gonna set myself up for success later on down the road.
Right. I like the thought process I had through 14 years of pro ball is God didn't bring me this far to let me down. You know, and He's always got great plans for us.
Right.
And that faith and confidence in Him is very important. And
100%.
it takes you through the tough days. Right. And we always want to stay humble and give Him glory through the great days.
Right.
And there's gonna be a lot of good days for you up in the future. So who's the toughest hitter you faced in your career so far? Do you have one?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's Nick Kurtz.
He's a good hitter.
Yeah, he's pretty decent.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good year this year. All my friends were making fun of me and everything. Were giving me a hard time because I gave up a home run to him. I mean, the wind was kind of blowing out.
That's, of
it's
course.
Beach Field, whatever. I think it was. I'm not gonna say what exit velo it was, but yeah, I should have made a better pitch at the end of the day. But that pitch showed up on his draft night.
Oh, did it really?
And everything we were watching, and yeah,
Right.
I had a bunch of friends there and everything, and they were giving me a hard time. So he's definitely the most talented hitter I've faced. For sure, there's a lot of really good hitters in the ACC, and I think that's going to help me, you know, a lot just with that experience going into the minors, majors.
Right.
You know, I've already faced really good hitters, and yeah,
You've had success against them as well.
I know, you know, what to do to have success and
Right.
what not to do. For sure.
Right. Do you have a pregame hype song? Do you have a go-to? Any go-to music?
Honestly, it's kind of just depending on the day. Whenever I step onto the field, my routine is the same every day. I learned how to have a very solid and established routine at Virginia Tech, because, you know, transferring to Virginia Tech, it's a lot like a professional atmosphere there. it's not like, they let you on the loose and let you do whatever you want to do, and they don't say anything. But it's definitely like a professional atmosphere where I remember Coach Chef, he was telling us like, hey, like you guys are grown men. You know what works best for you. Like obviously we're going to coach you. They're very good coaches, and I learned so much from them. And I remember talking to Ryan Fecto, the pitching coach, about establishing a good routine, just a pre-game routine, pre-throw routine, and everything. But besides from that,
Do you have an entry song?
I feel like it did have I had a great entry song. I kind of forgot the name of it. It was like Calabria 3000 something.
Okay.
I think it was. Somebody said it was Dylan Cruz's walkout at LSU, but I just wanted to choose a song that was gonna, I guess, get the guys going. That
I heard
year.
Dylan Cruz was using your song.
Yeah, the other way. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
What about any favorite ballpark you played in?
I would say Charlotte Knights at the ACC tournament.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean there's a good amount of people that showed up for that game, so it's a good crowd against Duke, and ended up having a great outing that game. I would also say Georgia Tech. We played at Georgia Tech. Their field's beautiful.
Okay.
It's a boombox, so the ball flies there.
Right.
But yeah, that field with the backdrop of Atlanta and everything, and then definitely the Charlotte Knights Stadium and Georgia Tech.
So I was 5 years old. My mom asked me what I wanted to do, and I told her I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player, and she convinced to ask me 2 more times, so 3 total. And I gave her the same answer all the time, and so she just left me alone.
Yeah.
If you weren't playing baseball, what would you be doing?
Yeah, I've also been asking that question. As of right now, I've talked to a lot of people about this and everything, but
No plan B.
I think it is to a certain extent. It is good to have a plan B. But I'm still trying to figure that stuff out right now.
Right.
But I know that wherever the Lord has me, I'm gonna work as hard as I can.
Yeah.
In the present moment. So right now, even though I'm in the minor leagues, I'm a major leaguer right now. So.
Right.
And mentally. So I'm gonna work as hard as I can. For the next however many years. Just to be the best pitcher.
Right.
Best teammate that I can be. And I think connections in baseball, it's such a small world. I've made a lot of very good connections with baseball, and I'm very fortunate, to have all those connections and everything. So, the Lord, He will provide.
That's right.
There will be a life after baseball.
Right.
Believe it or not.
I don't want to draw it out and be too mushy about it, but relationships are important to you. You are dating someone,
Yep.
a special person that you've had an opportunity to spend more time with over this rehab stint.
Yeah.
She's an athlete in herself.
Yeah.
You want to talk about her
Yeah,
for a
better
second?
athlete than me. She likes to say, yeah. Yeah, she's an athlete. She plays volleyball at UNC Charlotte. Very good setter. She just got her 1,000th career set or assist in volleyball. I'm still trying to learn the terminology.
Do you like
with
watching those volleyball games?
I love watching volleyball.
I hear they're fun.
I love it.
Yeah.
She has a sister, Lily, who she's very good at volleyball as well. She's very tall. They're both very athletic. They come from an amazing family. Couldn't come from a better family. She's been just the best for me this past year. And going into spring training and everything, we were kind of like, we don't know when the next time we're going to see each other.
Right.
And it was, probably a month later, because she went there. She went to Cincinnati for my surgery. We saw each other. I went back to Charlotte a couple of times, because I had a cast on, I had a brace on, so I wasn't doing anything.
Right.
Some weeks, so I would spend a lot of time with her, and she's been the greatest. And her family's been the greatest, throughout this whole process, and it's kind of a crazier story, how we met, but
maybe for a second podcast.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, no, thanks for joining with us. So that the listeners can follow you in your journey as you come back to spring training. Your social media handles, what's your Instagram, what's your X? Do you have one? Are you on it? I know you're not a big social media guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
But people want to follow you.
I actually don't. I haven't used Twitter, or I guess X now.
Yeah.
In a while, so.
Instagram J Lit.
Gosh.
At
yeah,
J Lit.
I remember. Yeah, it's like a middle school thing. It's like the real J Lit. It's kind of a corny name, but I don't think I'll ever change it. Yeah, the real J Lit. If you want to give me a follow on Instagram.
Okay.
And yeah, not I guess not too big of a social media guy and everything, but some of my friends will bombard me with like 50 reels every day and stuff and everything, but
right. So if you had one final message to young athletes here at SBA or just in general across the country, what's your message to them?
Yeah, I think, man, that's a good question. I think it's a lot of people, baseball wise, a lot of people tend to overcomplicate it. When we get to my age, we overcomplicate things, and we kind of tend to overthink about, I guess, how we're going about baseball and everything. I think just keeping it simple. It doesn't matter if you're 4 years old playing t-ball to 22, 23 years old, where I am right now, playing pro ball. It is the same game. I've always been a huge believer in keeping things simple, and not overcomplicating things. And I think it should just have fun. I wish I could give a better detailed answer, but that's the biggest thing for me is just if you have fun, you're gonna play loose, and whenever you're playing loose and free, you play at your best.
Right.
And just having fun, making the most of the moments, because they're, especially in travel ball and everything. Like travel ball is it's one of the best experiences, at least that I've had in my life, especially at SBA. And I thank you for the great experience at SBA. And just knowing that every moment is unique, and everyone you're around, with travel ball and in the college level and everything, you only get that shot. You only get one shot at it.
Right.
And so, and then I guess going more on a spiritual level, just be a light for the Lord. I think that's been the biggest thing in my career. It's keeping the most peace. Keep shining your light for the Lord. In college there's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of distractions wherever you go. But keep your faith. Keep looking to the Lord. Keep your head in the Word, and just keep seeking Him, and honor and glorifying Him in every scenario.
Right.
And finding the joy in little things. And I'm kind of going off on a little tangent right now, but
no, that's good.
But just trusting Him in any and every circumstance, and because He has you right where you are for a reason.
Right. Yeah, I like to use that when talking to really anybody at any level, is that the Lord gave you the ability to play. And so it's a lot easier to trust in Him and trust in that ability, laying those cares upon Him, than it is carrying them on ourselves and trying to, act like I'm who I am in myself.
Right.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. Like I've worked hard, to be where I am today, but the Lord is the one who's given me these abilities. I didn't wake up one day and give myself these abilities. They're all from the Lord, and I think it's a very humbling thing to, to acknowledge whenever you acknowledge that. It's very humbling, and just knowing that the Lord has given you everything that you have right now.
It's comforting.
It helps you, not to be prideful, boastful, and it helps you to, stay grounded in Him.
Right.
Yep.
I appreciate your time today, Jordan
sir.
Little, entering his spring training here with the Cincinnati Reds, and we're excited to follow you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it, Jake.
Good stuff. Yeah, man.